I'm Ben Hathaway, CTO of Mailprotector. So many of you have seen me up here before present. I do not like to replay the same presentations over and over, so we're going to get into some new things today, as well as an exciting new announcement towards the end. But first, I want to rewind, just for some of the new faces and people who don't know as much about us, and go through this pretty quickly about what we talked about last time, about the email security industry as a whole, and how for decades the approach has been backwards, flawed. And the result of that ends up in your lap. It's this pain that you've probably felt of having to layer on solutions. Nothing quite solves the problem, right? So you have to take one solution, maybe put another one that's a little more targeted at a different type of problem. The result, though, is noise, work, tickets, time spent where you shouldn't have to be spending time. It feels like this sometimes. You're chasing the problem instead of getting ahead of it. There's a new threat, it's constantly changing, so you're chasing it. A few years ago, we set up to change that, though. We wanted to completely reset our approach, our thinking, our philosophy on how we solve this email security problem, how we protect your users. We wanted to approach it and really change the game, not just in the sense of a buzzword changing the game, but have a completely flipped approach to email security. Instead of chasing the bad stuff, let's target the good stuff. Because if we can understand what you want, we can, by default, block everything else. It's a different approach that yields a completely different result. And the product that we introduced that does this is called Shield. Shield is a very unique product. You'll see a lot of features on here that you won't see anywhere else in the market. That's because we spent 3 years building a completely new platform from the ground up to give us capabilities that you don't see anywhere else. And at the core of that is the fact that Shield is comprehensive in the sense of you've seen secure email gateways, right? You've seen API-based solutions that work at the mailbox level. Perimeter security is the secure email gateway. Mailbox security on this slide refers to those kind of API solutions. The problem was layering independent solutions, they don't coordinate. They don't share information. They don't get you the right result. It's that layering effect without the complete comprehensive coverage result. With Shield, you get that. You get complete coverage from the edge to the inbox, from the perimeter, the gateway level, all the way through to the mailbox after the email arrives. So we can interact with it at multiple points in its journey. It's inbound and outbound. When I say comprehensive, I mean you won't need another email security solution in your stack. If you've got more than one, which we know a lot of you do, that problem goes away. Here's a little preview of some of the unique features of Shield. One is something we call the heads-up display. It is a dynamic real-time interface. This is not a static banner that's injected at the gateway and then it just lives on forever. It doesn't just tell you, be careful, this came from outside the organization. Most of your email probably comes from outside the organization. It's dynamic, it's visual, it's built for humans. It's not full of technical jargon, it's not full of our branding. It is specifically designed to communicate risk and awareness to your users without getting in their way, without a special plugin. Any email client will work with the HUD. One click from the HUD, you go to another unique feature of Shield called X-Ray. X-Ray is a secure interface for viewing the content of the email as well as the insights, security insights around that. We called it X-Ray because now you can see through the email. You can see where it came from. You can see any risk associated with it. The preview even of it is an image. It's rendered on our servers, not on the client. So there's no risk of opening an X-Ray for a message, and it's one click away from any email client. We know how important deployment is to you. That's the cost. That's what you have to go through to switch. We wanted to optimize that, and we did so. We built the easiest deployment in email security. You can get it done in less than 60 seconds for an organization. One of the key parts of this, which goes back to the comprehensive nature of Shield, is that it does not require MX record changes. We give you gateway protection combined with mailbox protection with no MX record changes. This is a little story to illustrate what it's like to use Shield. I posted this about a month ago after a vacation. I was out for 10 days, didn't touch my email. When I came back, opened it up, my inbox had 4 emails in it. All wanted, all people I wanted to communicate with. And this isn't some email address that just came out a year old where I probably get more volume to this email than you get. This is a 17-year-old email address. No noise, nothing in quarantine that I had to go find, none of that. Most of you probably won't be able to go to lunch and have less than 4 emails in your inbox. That's what happens when security just works. And we saw this, the way Shield resonated with the market last year in 2024 when we launched it. It was met with enthusiasm. Finally, somebody had taken a different approach to this problem. We're not chasing it anymore. Since then, we've listened, we've adapted, we've improved the product further. We launched a huge update at the beginning of 2025, and with that, we saw a doubling in our user base just in the first quarter alone. Since then, in the last 6 months, we saw it double yet again. 4x growth just this year. That's validation. There are people who want what this product is designed to solve. It wasn't just the product, though. We understand that for you to successfully deploy the product, we need to give you the tools and the materials to do that. We have built what I consider the best onboarding kit for partners in the market. It has templated emails that you can use pre-onboarding up to 2 weeks in advance to set the stage for your users, set the expectations, get them prepared for the change. These all lead to guides that are written in plain English again, so you don't have to answer a bunch of questions. We're communicating on your behalf what they can expect, getting them ready. These lead to an onboarding video. That's the same thing, because not everybody wants to read a guide. Not everybody wants to watch a video. It's important to have multimodal. This is the quiet version of that video, walking your users through what to expect and how to use Shield, so they're not met with anything unexpected on day one. We took it even further than that. We built and trained a custom GPT with Shield's information about the product, how to talk about it, how to answer questions. So anytime you have any need for content, for helping your customers with Shield, you can go to that GPT and generate that content. That's Shield, but let me talk about your stack as a whole. Something that puts you at risk is what I call stagnant products, right? The tools that you put into your stack are great on day one, but then they don't advance, they don't improve. What good is that? The threats continue to evolve. Why aren't your tools? That creates gaps, that creates risk for your customers, and this risk for you. That leads me to something that I want to introduce today. A Mailprotector, we're not about standing still. We always want to keep pushing things forward. We understand that the real security needs in email live between the block and allow. It's not binary in the real world. There are situations, every customer, every organization is different. The control you need to serve them needs to fit that, more than just some binary, allow this one, block this one. So we're introducing email traffic control. Email traffic control is like air traffic control, but for email flow, for the organization. As you can see here, there's a lot that you can do with it. You need certain types of emails encrypted, no problem. You want to control the risk level of certain emails? Easy. You need to make sure certain messages get delivered because they come from a security awareness training type of system? No problem. It's a level of control that's unprecedented, but it's also met with the ability to do this efficiently. Every product we build, we know we need to optimize around the least amount of time for you to manage it. So we've built templates as well as an interface for building these that is optimized to save you time. Let me give you one example of email traffic control in action. What happens, the first thing when somebody's email account gets compromised? They start resetting passwords, right? Trying to access the other accounts tied to that email address. With Shield, with one click, you can install account takeover protection that will identify intelligently password reset emails. Put them in a feature we call lockbox, which redacts the body of the message and puts a placeholder in its place, requiring additional verification step for your users. Still simple to do, but more than just the mailbox credentials required. The key thing you see here is actually in the middle. That detects option. is something we call intelligent data detectors. They are able to detect these types of emails with no keyword list or phrases for you to manage or input, right? You don't need to manage these things. We do all that for you. And this is just one example of many types of intelligent data detectors that we've built to fit those needs for you. So going back, I want to ask that question. Is your stack stagnant? Are the providers you're choosing to protect your customers moving things forward? Or are they standing still? If not, you and your customers are at risk.